Hi, hello. Welcome to the Codevthspan YouTube channel. In this lecture, we are going to see the inheritance. What is inheritance? In Java, a subclass which inherits its properties and behaviors from the superclass is known as an inheritance. For example, let us assume here we have a class A and the class B. Here class A have its own properties and behaviors, and even class B have its own properties and behaviors. If class B wants to inherit properties from class A, at that time we have to use inheritance. That means class A acts as an superclass and class B acts as an subclass, where subclass want properties of a class A. That time we have to inherit. The syntax would be class subclass extends keyword. We have to use the extends keyword followed by superclass. Class, subclass, extends and the superclass methods and fields. Case of inheritance, code reusability. That means if we want the same properties in the subclass, we not writing code once again, just we inheriting by using the extend keyword. That means we are using that code. That means we are achieving the code reusability. And debugging is easy because we are writing only the code once, so debugging is easy. Inheritance reduce the compile time, like single level inheritance, multi-level inheritance, multiple inheritance, hierarchical inheritance and hybrid inheritance. So out of 5 inheritance, we can't achieve multiple inheritance by using the inheritance because it leads to a diamond problem. So by using the interface, we can achieve multiple inheritance. First of all, we will see the single level inheritance. Single level inheritance is nothing but a subclass inherit the features from one superclass. That means your subclass would be the class B, right? Which inherits its features from only the one superclass. Then it's said to be a single level inheritance. We will see the example upcoming. And next, multi-level inheritance. Multi-level inheritance means a derived class will be inheriting a base class. That means here we have class A, class B and the class C. Here class B will be the derived class and class A is the base class. Here we inheriting the properties from the derived class to the subclass. After that, this derived class acts as a base class. From that base class, we are acquiring the properties. That means here, see, a derived class will be inheriting a base class, and as well, this derived class also acts as a base class to the other class. See, class B inherit properties from the class A. At that time, class A acts as a superclass. After that, class B inheriting properties from the class B. At that time, it will act as a superclass. That means which takes in the multiple superclasses are included in subclasses. That means class A, class B, class C. At that time, we will call it as a multi-level inheritance. And next, we have hierarchical inheritance. Hierarchical inheritance is nothing but one superclass having multiple subclasses in a same level. It is known as an hierarchical inheritance. Here, class B and the class C inherit properties from the class A. Two subclasses inherits from the same superclass, then it is said to be hierarchical inheritance. And the next we have multiple inheritance. We can't achieve it through the inheritance because it leads to a diamond problem. by default inheritance will extends to the object. That means by default it will inherit the object class. So here C is inherits from two superclasses A and B. Next it will class A extends to the object class and class B extends to the object class. It is an object class. At that time C is leads to the ambiguity, where if I can achieve properties from the class A or the class B, because it has two superclasses, and A will extends to the object class and B will extends to the object class. At that time it leads to the ambiguity and we can't achieve here multiple inheritance. It leads to a problem. This problem is also known as an diamond problem. We can achieve this by using the interface. We will see the next classes what is interface and how we can achieve this multiple inheritance to the interface. And the next we have hybrid inheritance. The combination of any two types of inheritance is known as an hybrid inheritance. That means we have discussed single level, multi-level, multiple and hierarchical. So any combination of two inheritances we can perform, then it is known as an hybrid inheritance. Yeah, in the next we will see the execution of the single level inheritance, how actually it works.
Here we are going to discuss the example for the single level inheritance. Here student is a superclass and the sports is a subclass. So I am taking name as a string, rule number as a int, branch is equals to string. So I want to read input from the user, so I am using this scanner class. And I am taking two methods, creating the two methods that are read method and the display method. Read method is used to read the inputs from the console, like system.out.println enter name, rule number and branch. At that time what we entered name, that will be assigned to the name, rule number and the branch. Then we are using the display method. Display method which is used to display the data, like system.out.println name is equals to name what we entered, system.out.println rule number what we entered will be displayed there when we call that particular method. Next we have the sports. Sports is a subclass. That means subclass, what is the syntax? Subclass extends a superclass. So we have to write public class sports. Sports is our subclass, right? So public class sports extends superclass. Superclass is a student. So as a sports we should have a sports name, right? So we have to use string game. After that, as we know that when we use extends keyword, when we use inheritance, that means all the superclass properties and behaviors will present in the subclass. So at that time no need to create object for the superclass, so we will create the object for the subclass. That means sports sp is equals to, sp is a reference variable which I am taking. Sports sp is equals to new sports. So by using that reference variable we can call the methods which we created here for student and the sports. If for the student I have created a method or read method and the display method. For the sports I have created the read sp and disp. So by calling it, all the methods will be executed from the top to bottom, so that see here it will be executed from the top to bottom. Sp dot read means we are reading the inputs from the user, so we have to enter the details, then read sp. So first what the printing statement present in the read, enter name, ID, rule number and I branch. So first we have to enter. Next what it will be present, read SP, that means enter a game. We have to enter a game. Next sp.display, so we have to display the details. Next sp.disp, so we have to display the details which is present in the sports. See here, when I am run this program, we will get the output as enter name, rule number and the branch. I am entering name is Codevthspan. Next I am entering a rule number, that is 123. Yeah, 123. And the next I have to enter a branch. At that time I am entering a branch is equals to 1 2. So after that it will give enter a game, enter a game name. So I am entering a game name is equals to chess. It is all about reading the input from the user. Now we have next time calling the display method, so it will display the name, rule number, branch and the game in the output.